Patriots Daily is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
What's going on, everyone? It's Taylor Kyles here for CLNS Media. Entering Sunday's matchup against the Chiefs, the Patriots were expected to play a heavy dose of man coverage, as they had never played zone on 50% or more of Patrick Mahomes' dropbacks in 4 career games against the reigning MVP and Super Bowl champion. Now, the Patriots had really found their stride defensively since their bye week, albeit not against great competition, and the Chiefs were really struggling, as Patrick Mahomes' receivers simply weren't getting things done, specifically in crunch time, which led to the Chiefs having only won 1 of their previous 4 games entering the matchup. But when Sunday's game started, the Patriots' man and zone rates and production completely flipped. The Patriots played zone coverage on almost 59% of Patrick Mahomes' dropbacks, but Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense combined for a perfect 158.3 quarterback rating when facing man coverage. Against zone coverage, that rating dropped all the way down to 66. Now, the Patriots weren't perfect in zone coverages. Not only was Mahomes able to work his magic and extend plays to find open receivers, but I also thought there were some missed opportunities where there were open receivers that Mahomes didn't end up finding. But to the Patriots' credit, they were able to pick off Mahomes twice, with Marte Mapu actually baiting him into a pick, and they were able to wrap up receivers and mitigate yards after the catch. But what exactly happened in man coverage, and how did a unit that's been so good in that area struggle so mightily in a way that we haven't really seen against Mahomes? I dove into the tape for a deeper dive to find out why the Patriots struggled, but also how they stood up to the challenge and actually managed to shut Patrick Mahomes down on some of their man coverage dropbacks.
Andy Reid showed absolutely zero regard for decency on the Chiefs' first touchdown against the Patriots. I'm going to break down why exactly that is. So against a Bill Belichick defense, Andy Reid always knows that he's going to get man coverage once they get in scoring territory, especially inside the 10-yard line. The tough part is you don't always know exactly what kind of man coverage you're going to get from Belichick in these situations. And beyond that, Belichick's defenders are very well coached. They understand how to play with proper leverage, proper depth, proper spacing, so that when you try to get them to run into each other with rub or pick plays, it doesn't usually work. So it's not easy to score on these guys, especially in the red zone. But what Andy Reid is going to do to work his way around that is basically just overwhelm the Patriots defense with information by showing them a look I'm pretty sure they've never seen before. And based on how they react to it, which you'll see, it's a pretty good guess that this wasn't something that they saw in film or were prepared for. So just to get into the nitty-gritty of exactly how Andy Reid was able to basically short-circuit Bill Belichick's defense. So the first thing that the Chiefs do to confuse the Patriots defense is come out in an unbalanced line. So what does that mean? As you can see, usually the center Creed Humphrey would be the one snapping the ball with the guard and tackle to each side. But here, you're going to have Joe Thuney, the left guard, actually snapping, and instead of a guard and a tackle to his right, you're going to have right guard Trey Smith beside him. But then to his left, you have the center Creed Humphrey. You actually have the left tackle Wanya Morris beside him. And all the way out to the left, you're going to have Jawan Taylor. So all the beef is to Joe Thuney's left, and he only got one lineman to his right side. And then the Chiefs are actually in 12 personnel. So to make things even more confusing, in the spot where you usually have a right tackle, you've got one tight end. All the way to the left, where you'd usually have an inline tight end opposite him, you've actually got a wide receiver, another wide receiver beside him on the wing, with a tight end acting as a fullback in the backfield. And here's where things get really tricky. Here's where there's just way too information to process all at once, and it's going to create a lot of confusion with the Patriots defense. Behind Joe Thuney, all right? So once you identify who's actually snapping the football, you'll notice that it's not Patrick Mahomes. It's actually Jerick McKinnon, the running back, who's under center with Patrick Mahomes beside him. And another layer of confusion, this is the shotgun, but instead of having somebody either in a traditional shotgun or the Wildcat standing up to receive the snap, both Mahomes and Jerick McKinnon are crouched down, almost in fullback type positions where they have a hand in the dirt. So you really don't know, even if you have an idea of who's going to get the snap, you're not sure how this is going to work out post-snap. But the Chiefs are basically screaming to you that the ball is going left because that's where most of their bodies are. So now, let's take a look at how they actually run this play, because the Patriots respond in nickel with the 5-man front. Most of their beef is slid over to where the Chiefs' beef is, over to Kansas City's left-hand side. So the play, it looks like the Chiefs are running some type of speed option where Patrick Mahomes can get the pitch, Jerick McKinnon's going to get the ball and go outside, and then you've got down blocks on Christian Barmore, Devon Godshaw, and then Jelani Tavai with Keon White actually going unblocked. So they want you to think that this play is going to the defense's right. Again, that's why they have all the beef over to that side. But what's actually going to happen is that the Chiefs are running what's going to be a jet toss or a jet pass, where they're just going to flick the ball in front of them. It should count as a run, but, for whatever reason, it's a pass. And it's going to actually start with Rashee Rice, the wide receiver who's on the wing, over to where all the players are for the Chiefs. He's going to come all the way across the formation, and it's going to be a counter play in terms of the blocking scheme, where you have Creed Humphrey kicking out. Then you have Jawan Taylor and I believe that's Blake Bell in the backfield are going to be lead blockers as well, escorting Rashee Rice to the other side of the formation. And then you're going to have Noah Gray come up to the second level and basically either block the most dangerous man or whoever is in man coverage against Rashee Rice, who in this situation is Alex Austin. Now, Alex Austin, not only is he going to have to find a way to get through all the traffic to get to his man, but there's so much window dressing that it creates a lot of confusion throughout the Patriots defense. So we're going to see Jawan Bentley, Jonathan Jones, and Jabril Peppers all try to get over to the right side, because since they're in man coverage, they're trying to identify where their assignment is. I'm not 100% sure where they're supposed to be going, but my guess is that Jawan Bentley's taking somebody in the backfield along with Peppers, and then Jonathan Jones is trying to get to the other side to Justin Watson, who looks like an inline tight end to the offense's left side. So the defense is trying to account for all the bodies to that side, even though the run is going to end up in the spot that they've all vacated. So slow motion, and then you see at the point of attack, Rashee Rice has a wide open lane because Josh Uche is trying to take on the pullers and create some congestion there, but Kyle Duggar, who is blitzing off the edge, is too deep in the backfield to make a play on this. Christian Barmore is probably still trying to figure out where the ball is while taking on a down block. And then you can see Devon Godshaw isn't sure where the ball is. He's actually looking right to where Jerick McKinnon is. You've got Jawan Bentley looking over to the left, realizing that he's not in position to make a play. And Keon White, who isn't blocked, doesn't have a good idea of who has the ball at all, which is pretty understandable. So then you're going to see Rashee Rice gets through this lane, and then you see the tight end Noah Gray getting up to the second level and blocking Alex Austin, who is responsible for Rashee Rice. And you'll actually see Jalen Mills has no idea who has the ball. Like, he's still confused. He doesn't really figure it out until the ball is already in the end zone. A lot of confusion, a lot of stuff to make the Patriots defense think. Great job by Andy Reid showing them something that they hadn't seen before.
The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. When you place a $5 bet, that's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
So after yesterday's game, one of the things that Patriots defenders mentioned repeatedly was communication, or rather miscommunication, and how it led to some of the Chiefs' bigger plays. And one of the plays that they mentioned specifically was the big screen reception allowed against Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, we're going to break down what happened on the Patriots side, what happened on the Chiefs side, because I think I have an idea of what might have gone wrong on this play. Can never know for sure without knowing the play call, but I'm going to take my best crack at it. So the Patriots come out in cover one. You're going to see that Kyle Duggar is in man coverage initially against Travis Kelce, and it looks like, based on the fact that everyone on the defensive line rushes the passer, that Jawan Bentley was originally responsible for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
But what we're going to see is the Chiefs are going to show a split inside zone with reverse action from Kadarius Toney. So this is throwing a lot at the Patriots. You've got all the motion from the skill players going over to the offense's left. You got Travis Kelce on the sift block going across the formation to look like he's kicking out Jelani Tavai. You got Kadarius Toney, who with his athleticism and speed you have to respect coming around. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire is just going to make it look like he's going downhill either on an inside zone run or as a decoy on a potential reverse for Toney. But what's actually going to happen is this is a screen. So in reality, the interior for the Chiefs offensive line is going to go out to block. Each of the tackles is going to pass protect to just get the edge rushers out of the way. And all of the routes and all the skill players are going once again to the left side of the field to completely wipe out the Patriots man coverage. When Andy Reid has an idea of what's coming, it makes it easier to fool New England and capitalize with all of their defenders looking at their man and trying to cover them. So we're going to see what happens to Kyle Duggar and Jawan Bentley, because what I think is supposed to be the adjustment for this play is once you get a Travis Kelce coming across the formation, in order to avoid Kyle Duggar getting picked, I think he was supposed to pass this off and have Bentley cover Kelce while he took the back and just have them both switch assignments. But here's how it actually plays out. So you see Kyle Duggar trigger downhill once he sees the run action. You got Kelce coming across the formation. You got Toney going around. It looks like run to him. And Jawan Bentley is still trying to diagnose, see what's going on. And then you see Kyle Duggar is all the way in the backfield. He's rushing. You got the guys in man coverage going across the field. And look at that. Yeah, Kyle Duggar looking at the reverse, which he was playing. All the defensive linemen on the inside are upfield, and then you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire wide open in the flat for the screen as his linemen are going out to set up some blocks. So you got a ton of space. Takes a while for everybody to figure out what's going on. They give chase. And then Jabril Peppers. Now, he makes a solid attempt at a tackle here, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire shows off why he was a first-round pick with that elusiveness. Look at this. He's going to jump and hurdle Peppers and slip out of the tackle. It's not a bad tackle attempt from Peppers. He tries to wrangle with the feet, but Edwards-Helaire makes it so that only one of the feet is available, keeps his balance, stays upfield, and then he gets a block. See Miles Bryant against Joe Thuney. And good effort from Alex Austin, who was all the way on the other side of the formation, making the tackle to prevent a touchdown. Just a really good play call there from the Chiefs. We're going to see it from the end zone angle so you get a better appreciation of what happens in the box. So you see Kyle Duggar is coming downhill. Look at all of these guys attacking either Mahomes or the reverse. Christian Barmore is flying upfield, thinking maybe he's got a sack, maybe he's got to chase Toney. Devon Godshaw is kind of just getting penetration and diagnosing what's going on. And Kyle Duggar's thinking this is a reverse, I got to chase. Even Jawan Bentley, although he isn't really responsible for diagnosing, I don't think, the screen, if he no longer was responsible for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because he's got his eyes, as you can see, on Travis Kelce. But yeah, again, just a perfect play call to beat man coverage and take advantage of an aggressive pass rush from the Patriots. Once again, great elusiveness from Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then Alex Austin making the tackle. Another way the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid attacked the Patriots man coverages was by using condensed formations to manipulate the Patriots coverage rules. So again, the Patriots man-heavy defense. The Chiefs on this play are going to come out in a 3-by-1 formation with Travis Kelce by himself to the bottom of the screen and all three wide receivers on the field to the top. Now in the slot, you're going to see a stack formation, which is two wide receivers close together. There's one wide out outside the numbers, but he's going to motion inside to create a stack, which is three receivers all in the same area. So the Patriots are going to have to figure out how they want to pass this off. Do we want to just cover whoever's across from us? Do we want to pass these routes off? That's up to them, and you're going to see them try to figure that out once the play kind of gets going. So you can see Jonathan Jones, Miles Bryant, Alex Austin communicating, trying to signal who has who in the zoo. Now, based on what they decide, Jonathan Jones, the outside corner, is going to take the final number 1 receiver. Miles Bryant in the slot takes the final number 2, and Alex Austin, all the way inside, is going to take the final number 3. But what exactly does that mean? What is the final number? What is that? So, based on how the receivers are aligned right before the snap, The receiver who motions inside is the number 1 because we count outside in. So the receiver who is behind the point man, that's guy in the line of scrimmage, is the 2 because he's between the number 1 and the number 3. The inside most receiver, the stack, is the number 3. So that's how it would work if the Patriots are playing straight up man-to-man coverage. They're just going to take the guy across from them. What's going to happen instead is the Chiefs are going to use a route concept that changes who is the number 1 and who is the number 3. You're going to see the initial number 3 take an outside vertical, and the initial number 1 take an inside vertical, with that number 2 running an outbreaking route after pretending to go inside. So instead of number 3, he's going to become the number 1, the inside most receiver. The outside receiver is going to go from the number 1 to the number 3. So Jonathan Jones needs to take that number 1 route, the outside vertical, and Alex Austin needs to take the number 3 vertical route inside, with Miles Bryant defending the out. So let's see how this plays out. Actually, Jonathan Jones makes a mistake here. He has a miscommunication where he thinks that number 1 outside receiver is still the number 1, and he actually goes inside to take that route. But you'll see he realizes his mistake, turns around, and Mahomes actually has an opportunity to hit this outside receiver if he wants. But that's not where he's looking. He's looking at Miles Bryant. And we're going to see that Miles Bryant understandably sees this route and anticipates an in-breaking crosser. But what's actually going to happen is the receiver is going to break back outside, create a lot of separation, and it's easy to pick on Miles Bryant there, but once again, it's really hard when you think you're getting an inside breaking route like that. You just try to respect it. Rashee Rice just has a great cut out of that break. Patrick Mahomes finds him. Relatively easy first down. Good scheming from the Chiefs. As well as Andy Reid schemed up his offense against the Patriots' man coverage looks, there were also times where Patrick Mahomes was just Patrick Mahomes, and he made incredible plays despite the defense doing everything right initially. And Kansas City's last touchdown of the game was a perfect example of this. So you're going to get, once again, the Patriots man-to-man coverage, specifically cover 1 with Jabril Peppers. He's not really playing the post. He's really kind of just splitting the difference in the end zone, making sure that nothing is in front of him and that he can at least have enough depth to affect any throw that's directly behind him in the middle of that area. Now, again, we get man-to-man coverage across the board with Juwan Bentley and Jelani Tavai basically bracketing the running back in whichever direction he ends up in. That's going to be the linebacker who takes him, and the other player is going to essentially spy Patrick Mahomes. But there's an interesting wrinkle because, once again, the Chiefs come out in a 3-by-1 formation with Travis Kelce to the bottom and all 3 wide receivers to the top. So Rashee Rice, the number 3, ends up being covered by a safety in Kyle Duggar, and Travis Kelce. Usually a tight end wouldn't be a mismatch against a corner, but with a young player like Alex Austin, specifically a rookie like Alex Austin, it's not a great matchup for the Patriots. And in terms of the route concept, to the top of the screen, we're going to get a stick concept. So Rashee Rice is going to be running a stick, or in this case, it's specifically an out route against Kyle Duggar, who already has outside leverage because he's got help in the post from Jabril Peppers. Then you're going to have Kelce running an outbreaking route into Alex Austin's outside leverage. But the best option on this play is Clyde Edwards-Helaire running an angle route from the backfield. But this isn't super easy because, once again, although Jelani Tavai technically will have him because the running back is going into his leverage, Juwan Bentley still has eyes on Mahomes and can read his eyes to try to make a play on the ball. So post-snap, what we're going to see is Mahomes first looks to Rashee Rice against Kyle Duggar. That's not there. Kyle Duggar does a good job. Then you see him look left. He wants Travis Kelce, but Alex Austin, once again, the route is breaking into his leverage, and he does a good job smothering the route. So finally, Kelce looks underneath to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but Juwan Bentley is coming downhill. He is going to obliterate the running back if this throw gets made. Hospital ball, Mahomes is smarter than that, so he's not going to throw it. But Dietrich Wise does a great job of condensing the pocket and getting Mahomes to actually get uncomfortable and have to reset. And you see that Jelani Tavai and Juwan Bentley have good coverage right now. But Tavai is looking at Patrick Mahomes, who has broken the pocket, which is going to allow Helaire to sneak behind him and try to make a play in the back of the end zone. Now, Devon Godshaw does a great job condensing the pocket from the inside and coming off of his block to chase down Mahomes. Unfortunately, like I said, Mahomes is still Mahomes. He's going to capitalize on Jelani Tavai having lost his target for just a second. Hilaire finds space. Great pass over the linebacker, touchdown. We're going to take a look at this from the end zone angle as well to appreciate what happens up front. First, we look at Dietrich Wise against Wanya Morris, a rookie. So we get that inside hand into his chest, and then Wanya Morris tries to make contact with his outside hand, but Wise forklifts that arm to create some space and then is able to push the rookie back, condense the pocket, and then Mahomes tries to get outside. But we're going to see from Devon Godshaw against Trey Smith does a great job just bull rushing, condense, put the pocket in Mahomes' lap, then gets off of the block to chase. But once again, Mahomes, perfect pass over Jelani Tavai's head. Great play by the Chiefs.
You know, I've been looking for the best deal on Celtics tickets, and with over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports festivals, and more. You can use my code DREAMERSPRO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DREAMERSPRO. Make sure you check the link in the description to download the app.
Now, as much as the Patriots man coverage struggled against Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs passing concepts, they did have 3 sacks when playing man coverage. That was all 3 of their sacks in the game. They also had a pass rush win rate and a pressure rate over 40%. So the Patriots front was getting work done and getting after Mahomes, even when the coverage couldn't always come through. But all 3 of their sacks wound up killing drives for the Chiefs. And the first one, which we're going to break down now, turned a 2nd and 9 for Kansas City into a 3rd and 16 where they would punt one play later. So let's take a look. The Patriots are going to play more cover 1. We've seen a lot of this, but it's a little different this time because Kyle Duggar is going to be coming down as a robber, where he's essentially going to be doing what Jabril Peppers does as the post safety, but in the intermediate part of the field. So Jabril Peppers is taking away anything deep and inside, and Kyle Duggar is reading Mahomes, and he's going to take away anything intermediate and inside. Now, you've got Jawan Bentley mugging the A-gap right over the center. Mugging basically just means he's threatening like he's going to blitz. And the Chiefs are going to keep their 5 offensive linemen in, as well as the running back, just to ensure that that Patrick Mahomes, not making that mistake again, making sure he has enough time to get this pass off. But because the back stays in, Jawan Bentley is free to just read Mahomes. So the Patriots essentially have a zone defender around their man coverage in the short, intermediate, and deep parts of the field. And that's going to be pretty tough for the Chiefs. Now, you're going to see Travis Kelce motion inside. This is pretty common for him. It's an indicator to show what coverage the defense is in. With Jalen Mills following him to that number 3 spot, the Chiefs know they probably got man coverage. And what they're going to run is after Kelce goes in his little motion or his little shift, he's going to run a crossing route that goes right into Kyle Duggar's robber coverage over the middle of the field. Then you're going to see an option route from the number 2, and although he's basically just trying to beat Miles Bryant, who has outside leverage, so he's going to break inside, but things are going to get complicated because Jawan Bentley, once again, is basically just playing a short zone in the middle, so he's going to wall off the route as well. Then on the outside to the 3 receiver set, you're basically just going to have a clear out, and then at the backside a curl in case Mahomes liked his matchup. So let's see how this ends up playing out. Now, first Mahomes looks at Rashee Rice on the option route, and I think this was just to try to make coverage move and create an opening for the crosser to Kelce, because he doesn't stay on it very long. And you see that here, Sal. He resets his eyes, he's looking down the middle of the field, but it's not a good picture because you got Kyle Duggar coming down on the route and Jawan Bentley, like I said, in that short zone. But then Mahomes is going to say, okay, I don't want to throw the crosser, let me get back to the option route. But Miles Bryant, it's been too long, so he has time to come down on this. And because of that time, the rush is able to get in. You got Josh Uche threatening the edge, Christian Barmore winning inside. Coverage complements pass rush. Christian Barmore gets the sack. He had a dominant day. We're actually going to look at the end zone angle to get a better appreciation, once again, of how this plays out up front. So first, Josh Uche against the rookie, Wanya Morris. Hesitation to catch him off guard. He tries to get that outside arm down, kind of shorten the edge. That allows him to get and turn the corner, which is what initially spooks Mahomes, it looks like. And he thinks he has an alley to get outside. But then we're going to see, because of Barmore, we're going to highlight right here. Let's get this thing going. Overpowers Trey Smith. First, Trey Smith does a pretty good job not getting bullied, but then Barmore gets into his chest, pushes him back, and because Uche flushes Mahomes, Barmore is able to capitalize, disengage, and bring him down. The Patriots' last sack of the game, which was also the last competitive play for the Chiefs' offense, was another great example of the pass rush and the coverage marrying together, complementing each other, and creating a positive outcome for the defense. So again, we're going to see man-to-man coverage across the board. We're going to get another split field look where the Patriots safeties are going to disguise their intentions pre-snap. But this time, Kyle Duggar is actually going to become the post safety in the middle, while Jabril Peppers comes down to take the back, and we're actually going to get a blitz down low. So we're going to see Mack Wilson is on the edge. He's going to rush opposite Josh Uche. They're going to try to condense the edges. And then you've got Juwan Bentley, who's going to be part of a line game with Keon White. Now, for the route concept, backside, we've got an end breaker. It's not really, I don't think, part of the progression here. To the very bottom, you're going to see Travis Kelce. He's going to run a whip route because I think that the Chiefs want to make this look like some kind of levels concept where you've got a bunch of routes all breaking to one direction. And here it looks like initially the routes break inside before coming out. The number 2 receiver is going to run the deepest route here. So he's going to pretend like he's running a post before breaking out in what's called a blaze out. You usually see it from outside the numbers, but here it's going to be a post route that he's going to break out into an out route. Now, you're probably wondering why there's a question mark over the number 3 receiver. I'll explain that because he doesn't exactly get to finish his route. So, all right, Mahomes takes the snap, and you're going to see that Miles Bryant tries to make contact, and Mahomes is looking that way to the number 3, but he ends up falling. You see that right there. He stumbles, and then Mahomes is at the top of his drop, so he doesn't have a lot of time to go through his progression here. But when he tries to, Mack Wilson has already won against Jawan Taylor at right tackle, which is impressive because Taylor was a big free agent signing, and Mack Wilson is not someone who's typically thought of as an edge rusher, but he's really come on as of late in that role. And then on the inside, Christian Barmore, once again, is wreaking havoc, and he beats Trey Smith, which he did all game, and creates disruption at Patrick Mahomes' feet. Mahomes doesn't get to go to his first read, and because of the pressure, doesn't get to go much further. Now we're going to look at the end zone angle to get another perspective on this. Great rush from Mack Wilson. Explodes off the ball. You're going to see him try to chop that outside arm. He misses, but you're going to see that he is able to dip around the edge. Really impressive bend for a guy who's traditionally a stand-up linebacker. So he rips around the corner, pressures Mahomes, and then we're going to get a look at Barmore as well. So just whop. That's a Reggie White classic. So he's just going to slap Trey Smith, overpower him, just run through. Just overwhelming from Barmore. And he does lose his balance, but still, he's right at Mahomes' feet. Mack Wilson wraps up. Got a sack. Again, this was the last competitive play of the game for the Chiefs offense. Great stop for the Patriots defense to give its offense a chance at potentially coming back down 10 points late in the game.